Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. My name is Tamara. Throughout this lesson, you might hear some new words. Let's practice their meanings. Repeat after me. Equality. Equality. Do you know the meaning of equality? Equality is when everyone is given the same amount of rights. For example, my friend and I went to see the baseball game, but the fence is too tall. Michael was given a stool so that he can watch the game. However, I was not given a stool. This is inequality. If Michael and I are both given a stool so that we can watch the game, it is equality. The next word you might hear is masculine. Repeat after me. Masculine. Masculine. Masculine is a word that describes qualities that are traditionally associated with men, such as a deep voice. The next term you might hear is gender roles. What is a gender role? Well, what do you think about when you picture a man versus when you picture a woman? Traditionally, men are seen as physically stronger and more powerful than women, and women are often seen as being more emotionally aware than men. Typical gender roles look like this. Women doing housework, such as cooking and cleaning, while men work outside of the home to bring in money. Or men not being allowed to show emotions by crying, and women being too emotional. Gender roles can often place limits on both men and women, creating unfair experiences for all genders. Now, let's talk about the word advocate. Repeat after me. Advocate. Advocate. Have you ever seen someone stand up for something they strongly believe in? Maybe you know of Greta Thunberg. She is an advocate for a healthy environment. Who are some advocates that you know of? In today's lesson, we will talk about some of the most powerful female advocates throughout history. As we go through today's lesson, make sure to follow along with the Her Story timeline worksheet. Fill in the names of each figure, and I will lead you through the rest. You might be thinking, why are we only learning about women? Well, we know history is important, but oftentimes women are erased from the accomplishments we learn about throughout history. For example, many people know James Watson and Francis Crick as the two scientists who discovered the double helix structure of DNA. However, it was Rosalind Franklin, a female scientist, who discovered DNA structure and made a biological breakthrough in science. Like men, women accomplish many things. It is important that we learn about the accomplishments women have made throughout history and today. Their achievements have benefited both men and women. So let's talk about how. Wow! Who are you?
I am Hatshepsut, former pharaoh of Egypt. I am one of the greatest rulers in history.
Hatshepsut ruled as pharaoh in 1478 BCE. She was known as the queen who would become king. But what does that mean? As a pharaoh, Hatshepsut led one of the most successful trading expeditions in Europe. Gold and incense were brought back to Egypt, helping their economy thrive. Hatshepsut was also known for being a brilliant builder of statues and temples.
I wanted to be taken seriously, so I made myself look masculine in my sculptures and pictures.
Which phrase best defines masculine? A. Qualities that are traditionally associated with men, or B. Qualities that are traditionally associated with women. The answer is A. Masculine means qualities that are traditionally associated with men. After her death in 1458 BCE, Hatshepsut's stepson, Thutmose III, tried to erase her from history. Threatened by her leadership, Thutmose III made efforts to erase his queens and wives from history as well. However, his efforts failed. Hatshepsut's great accomplishments are seen as the most impressive in ancient Egypt. Look at your timeline. Write the answers in the spaces provided. What year did Hatshepsut rule? A. 1478 BCE, B. 1478 CE, or C. 1993 CE. The answer is A. 1478 BCE. Next line. What was her role as a leader? A. President, B. Pharaoh, or C. Princess? The answer is B. Pharaoh. Last line for Hatshepsut. What were her accomplishments? A. Successful trading and building, B. Learning languages and math, or C. Raising a family and becoming a good wife? The answer is A. Successful trading and building. Now, let's move to 1st century Europe, where Boudica, queen of ancient Britain, led a revolt against the Romans. Why was Boudica so important? It all started when her husband, King Prasutagus, died, leaving his position in the hands of his 2 daughters because he did not have a son to take his place.
That's right. When my husband Prasutagus died, the Romans invaded my land and hurt my people. They even attacked my daughters.
So what did you do?
I led a revolt against the Romans. With the help of my military, I defeated 70,000 Roman soldiers.
Which phrase best defines revolt? A. To rise up against a leader, or B. To fight with your friends? The answer is A. Revolt means to rise up against a leader. Boudica revolted against Roman Emperor Nero. Boudica helped regain some of the land that was stolen by Roman invaders by destroying their entire 9th Legion. She was a powerful leader. Look at your timeline. What year did Boudica revolt? Was it A. 1960 CE, B. 60 CE, or C. 600 BCE? Remember, this was the 1st century of Europe. The answer is B. 60 CE. Next line. What was her role as a leader? Was it A. queen, B, pharaoh, or C, princess? The answer is A. Boudica was a queen. Next, what was her accomplishment? Was it A, creating a new language, B, taking over other countries, or C, defeating 70,000 Roman soldiers? The answer is C, defeating 70,000 Roman soldiers. Women don't have to be queens or pharaohs in order to make history. Let's look at some modern heroes of feminism. Malala Yousafzai was only 15 years old when she survived a brutal terrorist attack on her way to school in Pakistan. Why was she attacked? Well, Malala is an advocate for young women. However, this goes against the Taliban's rules.
I believe that young women deserve the same rights to education as men. This made the Taliban very angry. They did not like that I was advocating for educational equality and making a difference. They thought the only way to silence was to kill me, but I survived.
Which phrase best defines equality? Is it A, when women are given more rights than men, or B, when everyone is given the same amount of rights? The answer is B. Equality is when everyone is given the same amount of rights. Unfortunately, some believe that women and girls should not have the right to learn. Why is that?
Because knowledge is power.
Malala is a strong advocate for educational equality to this day. Look at your timeline. What year did Malala survive the attack? Was it A, 2015, B, 2020, or C, 2012? The answer is C, 2012. Next, what is her role? Is she an A, queen, B, teacher, or C, advocate? The answer is C. Malala is an advocate. Next line. What was her accomplishment? Was it A, winning the Nobel Peace Prize as an advocate for equality, B, winning the Nobel Peace Prize for defeating 70,000 Roman soldiers, or C, winning the Nobel Peace Prize for surviving the attack by the Taliban? The answer is A. Her accomplishment is winning the Nobel Peace Prize as an advocate for equality. Speaking of equality, have you heard about Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Hi, Tamara.
Hi, Ruth. You're one of the most influential women in American history.
That's right. I fought for gender equality as a lawyer and as a Supreme Court Justice of the United States.
Wow, you must have helped a lot of women.
Actually, I mostly helped men who were facing injustices from other men and gender roles.
What is a gender role? Is it A, traditional rules based on one's gender, or B, when everyone has the same amount of rights? The answer is A. A gender role is a traditional role based on one's gender. A gender role is when society holds certain people to different expectations based on gender. For example, men should never cook or clean. That is a woman's job. Or, girls should not play video games. Only boys can do that. Gender rules can be limiting to who we are as people.
Judges would only take gender inequality seriously if men's rights were threatened. In order to change laws to benefit women, I had to advocate for men's equal rights.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg's strategy was to prove that gender inequality hurts both women and men. Because of her, many laws were changed based on gender inequality throughout the United States. Look at your timeline. What year did Ruth Bader Ginsburg become Supreme Court Justice? Was it A, 1999, B, 1993, or C, 2020? The answer is B, 1993. Next line. What was her role? Was she an A, Pharaoh, B, Justice, or C, Queen? The answer is B, Justice. What was her accomplishment? Was it A, winning the Nobel Peace Prize, B, being a great public speaker, or C, changing and reversing laws for gender equality? The answer is C, changing and reversing laws for gender equality. We just learned about 4 of the most influential women in history. Not only do they inspire us with their actions, but with their words as well. Can you match the correct quote with the woman who said it? On the worksheet, you will see the 4 women with 4 inspiring quotes. Try to match the correct quote to the person who said it. I will give you 2 minutes. Let's check your answers. Good job. Now, we are going to become advocates for equality. We will make posters to reflect these public figures. Choose one quote from one of the inspiring women we learned about today. Choose a picture that reflects the quote you choose. Here is an example. You have 10 minutes. Are you finished? Great! I hope you can look at this poster and feel inspired as an advocate for equal rights. Thank you for joining me for today's lesson. I hope to see you next time. Bye!